The Black Death was a lethal monstrosity that seized the Middle Ages, killing millions. However, the Black Death never touched farmland, buildings, ships, machines, or gold. This way, survivors could rebuild society. Although many would return to their former lives, the earth was forever changed. Humanity was launched into a new era. Several events led to the decline of feudalism. There was an economic revival, so knights could be paid. They became soldiers of the state. Because of this, fewer lords relied on knights, their vassals, to provide protection. Gunpowder and weapons like the longbow and cannon came along, lessening the dominance of knights. Stone castles were no longer the ultimate fortresses, as they gave in to the power that came behind cannons. Cities became wealthier and more important, so the aristocracy was no longer completely needed. There were early government officials who took over the functions that were previously carried out by the vassals on the fiefs. The Renaissance aided the development of states to some extent. Germany was akin to Italy in the sense that it was divided into many largely independent states. However, Germany was at the core of the Holy Roman Empire, which unified the various German states in its own way. The princes in Italy and the great royal courts supported the Renaissance. The French King Francis I, who ruled from 1515 to 1547, attempted to fill his surroundings with the most refined representatives of the Italian Renaissance. There was a newly found force behind the thinking that said that God doesn't control everything, that through science and technology and learning, humans can remodel society and lay down the foundations for the world of the future. Humanism ignited trade and a desire for better things in life. Florence, Italy became the model trade city for others to follow. Life in the city is good. At the market, there is always movement and profits are high. You are treating yourself to more and more luxuries. Eccentricities, some may call them. Europe's economy began to flourish. New goods from the East were introduced to the general public. Merchants brought these goods across the Silk Road, a caravan route from Europe to China that had previously fallen into disuse. In the 1200s, the Silk Road was reopened by the Mongols. There was a prominent traveler that spent 20 years in Asia. This man wrote a book that rejuvenated an interest in the Far East. The book inspired traders to seek Asian goods, and so the movement began. A fire would soon start thanks to the work done by one named Marco Polo. Florence, Genoa, Milan, and Venice had become major trading centers in Italy by the 1300s. However, manufacturing centers lived in these cities as well. Specialization occurred. The port cities of Venice and Genoa were essential gateways for trade, as massive ships often stopped in these two cities, bringing with them dazzling arrays of products from Asia. Trade led to banking. A new banking system appeared all over Europe. It was developed in Florence. The biggest players in this game were the Medici family. The rich usually controlled the government in Italian cities, and by 1434, Cosimo de' Medici ruled Florence. He had a great desire to make Florence a center of art, literature, and culture. This devotion of art and education was central to the Renaissance. During this time, great advances in the fields of science and mathematics were made. It was discovered that the Earth moved around the Sun. Major changes in education occurred as students began to study the humanities. History soon became important and necessary. The Renaissance was a blending of curiosity, artistry, and an endless hunger for knowledge and understanding. The Renaissance left an imprint on humanity that is as fresh today as it was the day it was created. It was no coincidence that Columbus discovered America in the 1400s. It was not just a stroke of chance that Columbus consulted the same mathematician who taught the prodigious architect Filippo Brunelleschi. The Renaissance took the globe by storm and tore apart all of the old guides and manuals. A fire that burned through people like Da Vinci and Columbus. A perpetual motion that has redefined the arts 100 times over. The Renaissance lives today as a fire that has burned its way through time and is now lighting the path ahead for humanity in the 21st century.